Hi, I'm Rusty Dog, and welcome to this little guide on how to install Invoke AI. Invoke AI is a browser interface for AI models like Stable Diffusion and such. Very similar to Automatic 1111, which is the one that I use. And the thing with Invoke AI is it has a cleaner looking interface, and it also has the ability to do nodes, and it has, through the nodes, it has support for Stable Diffusion XL as well, but only through the nodes, not through the actual main interface. It has some nice features to it, so including a model manager, I should say, where you can actually give it a name of a folder where all your models are, and it'll import them all in, and it won't take up any extra disk space. Talking of disk space, I would budget I have already tried to install this. I did it, got it all done, and then I did something wrong. It was all my fault, and I lost it, so I've uninstalled it. So I'm going to go through the installation procedure again, and I'm going to do it with you guys. When my installation was done, my folder, my Invoke AI folder, was 80 gigabytes. Now, it is going to depend on whether you want to install certain things or not install certain things, but I would budget for a good amount of gigabyte disk space. Now, the other thing I'm going to do here, or try and do, I don't know if it'll work with the automatic install. There's a manual install as well. I'm going to try and install this in a different place to where it normally goes, which is in your user profile folder. So in my case, it'll be c/users/rustydog/ and then the folder. I'm going to try and install it somewhere else where I've created a 100 gig free by moving some files around. So the first thing we want to do is go to github.com/invoke-ai/invokeai. And this will bring you to this page. The link is in the description for the URL I've just quoted. That'll bring you down to this page. Yay, there it is, Invoke AI. And there's a little glimpse of the interface, looking very nice. Information you might want to read, go through the quick start. And you have some stuff here. It says here, to install Invoke AI, you'll need at least 15 gig. Yeah, at least. Yeah. So you can follow this. If you're going to go through the automatic install, you don't need to do this. It'll do it all for you. So anyway, let's get to the nitty-gritty. So from here, if we come down on the right-hand side column, we've got releases. Invoke AI version 3. This is the new one. 4 days ago, it was released. So let's click into there. And here we have Invoke AI 3. Again, information you may want to read through. We have a nodes editor because only in the nodes does it have support for Stable Diffusion XL. Very much similar to Comfy UI, which I've also shown. So I guess you could say that Invoke AI is a kind of a mix between Automatic 1111 and Comfy UI. Yeah. So let's come down to installing, upgrading, and there's a link here. So you click on this link, and you will download Invoke AI Installer 3 zip. Once you've downloaded that, double click to open it, and just drag the folder onto your desktop or wherever, so you have your Invoke AI installer right there. Okay, next step. Okay, so now that you have the zip file on your desktop and you've got the files here, you should have this. First thing you want to do before running install.bat is to double click this, which will allow Windows to have the long paths enabled. So just double click that to add it into your registry. It's fine. And then you want to run the install.bat. So we just do this and you'll have this screen. Now it does say for the best user experience, we suggest maximizing this window now. Make sure you do this. So you can either click into this little square here. Let me just get this out of the way. Or what I prefer to do is you can double click this top window. And that's easy enough. Now the text may be small, so I'm going to show you what it says, because this is an important step now. Before you start, please make sure you do the following. One is install Python 3.9 or 3.10. I would recommend going 3.10.6. You can go 3.10.9 and still have automatic 11 working, I believe, but I chose to stick with 3.10.6. Now, all you have to do is go to python.com, go to downloads on the main screen, and come down to 3.10.6, and you will see the Windows installer. In fact, let's go and do that right now. Okay, so here we are at python.org, not .com. My apologies. Python.org, and you want to click on Downloads and come down to Windows, assuming you are on Windows, and then we're going to scroll down until we get to Python 3.10.9 will work, I believe. So you want to go for this one. For me, I like to stick to 3.10.6, which is a bit further down. This one. So Python 3.10.6, and download the installer, run it, let Python install. The only thing you want to change on this install is as it's installing, it's going to come up with a lot of checkboxes for you to tick. Leave everything alone, but there's one option, one checkbox which will not be ticked by default, I think, and that is to add the Python to your path, to your Windows path. Make sure you tick that so Python gets added to your Windows path. Make sure you tick that and install Python. Okay. Right, so the next thing you want to do once you've done this is, it says double click on the win-long-path-to-enable.reg. I've already asked you to do that, so you'll either have that done or if not, do it now. And then step 3, go to this website here, which you can copy and paste off here, and install the Visual C++ core libraries. You probably have them, but if you don't, if you do have them, it'll let you know anyway. So just go here to this page, download the file for the Windows for the Windows C++, and download those. This is the page you'll be greeted with when you get there, and you just want to come down to here, the x64 version, and just grab this. Grab this. You're going to download a file called VC Redist x64. Run that, make sure that's installed, and you may be required to reboot your PC. I would probably do that anyway after installing this, but it may not be necessary, but it's up to you. I would probably use the reboot. Jeez, I've just woke up. It's morning. I've just woken up and come to this. Yes, PC reboot after this. I would recommend it. Okay, now that you've got Python installed and you've got the Windows reg file double clicked, and you've got this C++ libraries installed or binaries installed, you're ready to go for the rest. So put a cup of tea or coffee on, because this install is going to take a little while, especially with the options we're going to be choosing. So be ready. Okay. So now that we're here, we have to press the key to continue. I'm going to have to zoom this back down to normal size. So I hope you're going to be able to see the text okay. So let's press the key to continue. I'm going to press enter. Now it's got actual location. Okay. Now it says, first question, which is awesome. InvokeAI will be installed in C users Rusty Dog InvokeAI folder. That is the default. It says, would you like to pick a different location? Yes, I would. So I'm going to go with Y. Now make sure, I think you're going to be required to have this folder name on the end anyway, so I'm going to say yes. Please select the destination for the installation. Okay. Now why has that gone to InvokeAI installer? Oh, okay. Now I don't have a folder on my. I'm putting mine in my K drive. I don't have a folder called InvokeAI. I feel that I'm going to need to make one. Can I do it from here? No. Okay, that was a silly thing. All right, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring up a DOS prompt. I can't do it while I'm zoomed. So I'm just going to bring up a DOS prompt. And I'm going to type in make directory K. I'm just hoping it doesn't put a folder called InvokeAI inside InvokeAI. Okay, so that's done. So if I go to K, CD Invoke AI, there we go. Done and done. All right, so now in here, I am going to select the destination. Oh, cool. Can I just double click it? No. I'll just type. I'll put a slash at the end anyway. Okay, let's press return. It already exists. Ah, so it would have created it. Are you sure you want to reinstall in this location? Yes. Okay. Now, next bit, here we go. So, please select the type of GPU. This isn't going to work on computers like laptops that have got integrated GPU chips. Forget that. So, Nvidia GPU, no compatible GPU or specifically proprietary CPU. I wonder if that would work if you had an Intel. I'd be interested to try that on my laptop, but I won't have enough VRAM. And 3, I'm not sure what to choose. I'm going to choose Nvidia GPU. And now it's just going to go away. Now it's just going to install. So now we just leave the installation running, I believe. If something pops up, which we need to address, a prompt, I will let you know. Otherwise, we're just going to be sat here waiting for it to complete what it's going to do next. And there it goes. This is going to take a little while, but just let it go and enjoy your beverage. Okay, so when all that is done, you should now be at this page, which is InvokeAI startup options. So let's quickly run through these and get to the next stage. So the first option here, we can just use the cursor keys to come up and down here. I'm going to leave the output directory for images here. Actually, this would be a good chance for you now. If you want to, every image that you generate gets saved. So this, if you want to move where the outputs go, this would be a very good chance for you to do this now. Because if you're not managing all of your images and throwing away the ones you don't need, or the ones that didn't really turn out quite the way you wanted, and you're not going into this folder on a regular basis and managing the, to remove all the bad ones and leave the ones you want. If you're not managing that in any way, then you may want to move this somewhere where there's a bit more space, just in case your housekeeping doesn't get done as often as maybe it should. So I might want to move this to my NAS drive. I'm just going to check. I need to come out of Zoom for this because I can't move my mouse pointer off screen while I'm in zoomed mode for some reason. So I may want to create a folder here on my NAS drive. And this will prevent this will prevent the drive or the partition that I have InvokeAI installed in from filling up. I'm trying to think where to put this. Okay, I'm going to move this and see what happens. The problem is if my network drive ever goes down for whatever reason. Yeah. Okay. Well, I've changed my mind. I'm going to keep it as it is and try not to let it get too out of hand and just do some management with it. But this is a good place to do this now. So you could just come up here and then just type that in. Delete that and then just type that in. So down here we have a not safe for work checker to blur potential sexual imagery. Now what this might do, you might have images that it thinks is not safe for work, but for you they may be. It may just be something to do with glamour or whatever. For me, this isn't going to bother me whatsoever because if I've asked for something like this, it's what I want to see. So I'm going to remove that. I'm old enough to not need such a thing. And if something does pop up that's not safe for work, well, I'm at home, so it doesn't really concern me at all. So huggingface.co is a website where you can go, and if you want to use things like Stable Diffusion XL, you're going to need a token for that. So what you would do is you would go to the location here, huggingface.co, settings, tokens. Make sure you have an account and you're registered with Hugging Face, and then you can apply for a token. They'll give you one in the form of a long alphanumeric code or numeric code. I can't remember if it's just numeric or alphanumeric. Once you have that token, I think it is alphanumeric actually. Once you have that token, just copy. There is a copy function on your tokens page, and then just Control-Shift-V to paste it in here. I already have mine. I think it's in here under these dashes, but just in case it isn't, I am going to paste it back in again. Okay, so I already had a token, so I just needed to go to my account on huggingface.co, go to settings, go to access tokens, and then it's already pre-hidden in there, but then there's a copy function. So I've copied that. So just in case, because I don't know how it could still be here after I uninstalled this, but maybe it's stored somewhere else. And I'm just going to do Control Shift and V, and it's pasted in there. Cool. All right, next one. You've got some advanced options. If you have low memory, you might want to do this first one, free GPU memory after each generation. I'm going to keep it to the default, enable XFormers support if available. This one, if you have a crappy GPU and a better CPU, you may want to use this. I wouldn't. I prefer to have my graphics card do all the processing. CPU is going to be a lot slower. Only use this if you absolutely have to, but I would say don't. I'm assuming you have a fairly decent graphics card to start with. Precision, 16 or 32-bit, I'm going to keep at auto. Size of the RAM cache used for faster model switching in gigabytes, I'm leaving that alone. Same here, I'm going to leave all this alone, auto import, and just press space here to accept the license. All right, so I'm going to need to shrink this because right at the bottom of the screen we have next. All right, right, here we go. So we've got starter models, more models, control nets, Lora like chorus, and textual inversions. These are what you're going to install right now. Now, I already have Stable Diffusion 1.5 and 2.1 and models elsewhere, but I'm going to install them again here. Now, if you want to use Stable Diffusion XL and you'll need the base and refiner, and you'll need to select these. I'm going to because I want to use them with the nodes. If you're not familiar with the nodes, or you don't want to use the newer Stable Diffusion XL, then you don't need to select these. These are going to take up a fair amount of space for these two. It says 12 gigabytes on each. It's not really quite that, but I think the base is, I can't remember the exact amount of gigabytes, but one of them is considerably larger than the other. These are other models that you might want to, you can choose which ones you'd like to have pre-installed straight away right now. I would, if you like some realistic stuff, I'd probably go with deliberate. But you can see what each one does. Dungeons and Dragons characters, ink punk diffusion. This is a Mid-Journey 4 style model. I already have a shed load of models with automatic 11, so I'm going to later be telling InvokeAI where those are to use those. So, and included in that model list, by the way, is in fact Stable Diffusion 2.1 and 1.5. So I really don't need to have these installed here. And I don't need SD 1.5 optimized for inpainting. I would advise you to leave these on. These are just default ones, and I would definitely say to you to leave those on as something to start using the moment you have this installed. Before you even, because once you've got these, at least you can get started and have a play around without downloading any other models, which you can do later. So I would skip these only if you have automatic 1111 and you've already got these somewhere else. But I'm good for this right now. Okay, so once you've got all the ones selected, you may want to select every single one here. That's up to you. It'll take longer to install. Then on the starter models, now you want to go to more models. So we've got additional URLs. I'm not going to install anything via URL. I'm going to let it just put in, you just paste the URLs into here. I'm not going to let it do that. I have models already downloaded. So, moving on to the control nets. Now, I like to use ControlNet. It is supremely powerful. So for me up here, I am going to select every single option. We need to move on screen here. I'm just trying to keep it zoomed as much as possible so you guys can see what's going on. But all of these different options that ControlNet has, I want them. Now, as for Lora, can't see where I'm going now. Just making sure that it's keeping everything I had. Okay, so Lora is next. So I would keep it as default. I don't know, if you want ink scenery installed, you can use that. And then Lora I would recommend anyway. Textual inversions, again, I'm just leaving easy negative. I don't know what AHX beta is, so I'm going to leave that. So I'm happy with everything here. Okay, once you've got everything you need, come all the way down to the bottom right, apply changes and exit, and you might want to just go and have a little nap, a little sleep, or go and watch a movie. This is going to take a while. I'll be back. Okay, so after that's all done, that took a while. What a messy screen. This is because I shrunked it up like... Right, so when all that is done, it should say press any key to continue. It's going to take a little while, and my screen is all white and patterned because I restored the window down to a small window and then let it carry on, and then I maximized it again, so it looks a bit weird. But anyway, as you can see here, it now says if you installed using an installation script, which we did, then you can run invoke.bat from the newly created InvokeAI folder. So we now press a key to continue, and that's probably going to exit. It's got some more stuff to do, maybe. Yes, clearing up the temp folder. Okay, there we go. Press any key to continue, and we're at the desktop. Okay, so now if we go into the folder that's been created wherever you decided to put it, I'm assuming in your user profile, your user profile folder, you should have a folder called InvokeAI, so just go into there. This is mine, and you've got invoke.bat. So we're just going to double click on that. And now it gives you these options. So we have generate images with browser-based interface, which is the default selected one. So this is the one we're going to be using. Explore InvokeAI nodes using a command line interface. Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start with that. Run textual inversion training, merging models, which I think you can also do from within the interface anyway. Download and install models, which you may need to provide URLs for. It'd be easier to go on to websites like civitai.com and download checkpoints from there, or even Hugging Face. Change InvokeAI startup options, rerun the configure script to fix a broken install or to complete a major upgrade. When I broke my install by I dragged a nodes JSON file into the nodes. I dragged a nodes JSON file from Comfy UI into here on the nodes on InvokeAI to see if it would work. It didn't. I just got a blank screen, and then the next time I ran InvokeAI, it always goes back to the screen you were at before you quit. And so I kept getting a blank screen. I ran this to try and fix it. It didn't do it, so I am having to reinstall. I should also point out at this point that if you have a 4 GB, 6 GB graphics card, you've got more chance of being okay with InvokeAI than you have with Automatic 1111. Not that you wouldn't be all right, with automatic 1111, but this is okay for lower RAM, lower VRAM as well. Okay, and number 9 to invoke that one, developer console there, and command line help. So we just want number 1. So we're just going to press return and let it run through the script. And again, once it's done, it should tell us to open a browser window, which I'm going to get ready on my other screen while this is on the go. You should know that my folder currently is just a tad slightly under 52 gigabytes. So quite big. Right, so this Triton error, don't worry about it. I think this is perfectly normal and perfectly okay. And it's downloading patch match libraries. Yeah, I don't know. Just let it go. Okay, nearly there then. And there we have it. UVcorn running on localhost 127001 at port 9090. So that's it. So now we can take this off the screen, and I don't need this window open anymore. So I've got my nice blank desktop here. All right, so I am going to invoke 127 invoke. I'm going to call it 127.001 9090 on my computer, and there's no models here, obviously, because I didn't put any in, so I can't actually render anything right now unless I go into the nodes. The nodes are not active yet, so yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my Firefox. I wonder if that means then that I didn't have to reinstall everything. I think I wanted to anyway, though. I wasn't really happy with the install, but I'll fix Firefox at some point. Punch it in the face. So if you want to access nodes to use Stable Diffusion XL, you can simply go into settings. And a couple of things I would put on here is use sliders for all options. I would add that one. Enable nodes editor, experimental. That's the one you want. And click close. Okay, so now we have sliders for these settings here. You can see we've got those, and also for the width and height. And this is the node editor. Now I've taken a screenshot instead, which I think is a probably better idea, of my Comfy UI nodes layout, so that when I create a new node, I can start creating it in the same way, in the same pattern, and then it should work. For example, if I want to add a checkpoint, actually it might be a model loader. Right, SDXL model loader, and we want the SDXL refiner loader. So this one, and then you can select the model, which we have there. But now I'd start to need to make these node connections to other places. Very strange, I don't have any. Okay, it's working anyway. I was used to seeing dots there, but no, that's fine. Yeah, so I'll start and build this up over time. Right now I need to get the models that I have on my NAS drive that I use in Automatic 1111. I need to get them also into here. So we're going to choose Model Manager here. And we've got these at the moment, and it tells you on what model they're based, whether they be Stable Diffusion 1 or 2. And we want to go to Import Models, and we want to select the model location. Now, I'm just going to call up a file Explorer window, and I'm going to get that. Actually, I think I know what the location is. So I think it's W. No, I'm not sure. I'll do it in a sec. Okay, yeah, it's that w/AI stuff/models. And that's it. I'm just going to click add model, and hopefully after a few moments it should install. It doesn't install all of them though. I found this to be curious. There are some models, like I have Realistic Vision 3 and Realistic Vision 4. It didn't load Realistic Vision 4. It scans the whole folder, but then it didn't do it. And I was kind of curious. So I added it manually, and I tried to render with it and it failed. It said there was some issue about permissions. So yeah, I'm not really sure about that. I don't know why that is. So just be careful if you get that on some models. Maybe those models that don't load in need to be on my local folder, along with, in the place where InvokeAI would put them. Or maybe I can go to the on the startup, when you run startup and it says download and install models. Maybe you can do it that way, or maybe we can do it in the model manager by putting in the URL on the internet to that model. So let's say Realistic Vision 4, I can't get it to work off my NAS drive. If I go and get the URL location for it, which I'll show you how to do, it may import it and work that way, because it won't import it onto my NAS drive. It'll import it into the folder where I've got InvokeAI installed. That's my theory anyway. So I'm going to wait for this to finish and I'll be back. Okay, well, that's done. It's gone back to add model, so I'm assuming that they're all in here. If we go to Model Manager now, you'll see all the models in. These are all models based on Stable Diffusion 1 or 1.5, which means their native size is a 512 by 512, and anything that's SD2 is 768 by 768. But I like to use 512 by 768 or vice versa, depending whether it's portrait or landscape, on SD1 models anyway. Some of them can cope quite well with that. Oh, we do have Realistic Vision 4 this time. Nice, nice, nice. I wonder how many checkpoints are here that are missed out. Not so. In other words, not here. Reliberate is there. I was trying to find one. I can't believe there should be 3 of these, but I think the other one's got a slightly different name. Okay, so we are good. If I see any models here that it hasn't grabbed off that folder, I'm going to install one. I'm going to show you as well how to install one directly from the Cibit AI website. So let's go into text to image, which is this A up here. And now we can pick a model. So I can choose, I'm going to choose Epic Realism. I hope it's got that one. It has. And we're going to get, we'll do portrait. There you can see it does it, or you can go wide. So it's basing it off this top one, I think. You can, best to just go free, and then you can just type in whatever you want. But for this one, we're going to use a bigger height than width, so it is a portrait. The amount of images you want, let's just set it to 2 for now. Steps, 50 is too high. Let's go around 25. CFG scale 7.5 is fine. Right, let's try something, and then we can see it happen. So let's go and say, oh, if you don't have any further models, by the way, don't worry, we'll get to that now. You'll probably just start using the 1.5 and the 2.1 Stable Diffusions, which were pre-selected as we were installing this. So hopefully you selected those and you've at least got these to work from. But now I'm going to work from Epic Realism and just say a photo, or not a, we just put photo of, okay, let's do an African tribesman, all one word, isn't it, with a spear. comma. I was going to put national dress, but that wouldn't be correct. How would you put it? Tribal clothing. I would imagine it would do that anyway. I'm not going to put any negative prompts or any such thing. I'm not really bothered about the quality of the image or how many fingers you might have. I just want to see it working. So let's hit invoke. We'll give it a little couple of seconds. You see what it's doing right now is just loading up the model. So the first time you generate an image after changing the model or loading up a model, it's going to take a little bit longer. And any subsequent images after that. You can see here we've got ControlNet, we've got Loras we can add, but we don't, they're handled down here as opposed to up here in the prompt, which is cool. We have dynamic prompts. I haven't really got too much into that yet. And we have noise, enable noise settings. So I don't know. Some of them, they look grayed out, don't they? But they're not. They are actually selectable. I'm going to leave that alone for now. And then we have our image to image, which we also have in Automatic 1111. We have a unified canvas for painting on and doing things too. We've got the node editor and then the model manager. And up in this corner you have your settings, you have your theme, whether you want to go light mode or dark mode. I prefer dark, usually always. The Discord links, the GitHub links, report bugs, language, and hotkeys. And obviously what it's doing. It is taking a little while. Again, my models are all on my NAS drive, so it will take a little while. But we'll sit through this until it does it. As for VAE, I think it's already got one in. Yep, that one. I could have added that one, to be honest. And the scheduler, or as it's called a sampler in Automatic 1111. We've got it just set to Euler, but we've got all the others as well. So Euler Keras seems interesting because I like these DPM Keras ones. And so Euler Keras might be a combination of some decent quality with some speed. So you can play around with those. You do get different results with these. I quite like 2M and SDE Keras. I quite like those. Yep, 2M SDE Keras. Yeah, those are the ones I tend to use. So yeah, this model loading's taking a little while, isn't it? Once it's got the model loaded in though, all into memory, then we are good to go on this image and any subsequent images. Right. Gonna need more than this. Let's see what the script is doing. Yep. Okay, it's going. You can see the iteration. That's just as far as it gets on the pixelization. It's doing 2 images. It gets this far, and then suddenly, pop, it comes in. So this is really good. Can we double click, get a bigger picture? Now, what about this? Oh, this is for upscaling. Upscale the image. All right, so I would like either to see this. I've just noticed this float in there. I would like to see this bigger. Maybe using a mouse wheel to make it bigger would be cool. Open image in a new tab. That would be a good thing. Send to unified canvas, send to image. So open in a new tab. Let's do that. So it's done a really good job there, I think. And we can check on the other one, the other image. Bring that back down, I think. In fact, let me reset the size. That is right. Okay. So this is the other one that it brought out. This is pretty much exactly what I was asking for. I said with a spear. He's actually holding a couple of them. But yeah, this is exactly what we asked for. And so now if I want to generate something completely different, let's say we go to if I choose wide though, see if I go up on this scale, you'll see it's also upping the other one as well, because they are locked set. I think there's a way of unlocking those as well. Swap sizes, that would have been a good one. So portrait, oh dear, I've lost I've lost it now. Let's go to portrait, and then down here we'll select 512. No, okay, then in that case we'll do, oh, my fault. I should have put 512 in here. There we go. And then we just go swap. That's it, landscape. Okay. So, photo of a red car. Now, we already have the model loaded, so we shouldn't have to wait. Here it comes. Oh, and it's generating 2 again, isn't it? Yeah. We'll get that down to 1 for next time. All right, so there we have a red car, which is what we asked for. Now, can I upscale? Let's say I wanted to upscale this. Can I just do it from here? Upscale image. Right, but you need to ask me by how much. It hasn't. How does it know how far to upscale? That's interesting. I wonder how far it's gone with that. If I right click and open it in a new tab. Or, can I get info here? Yeah, look at that. 3072 by 2048. Did it really just do that from that 768 by 512 image? That's massive. And it, for that size, it really didn't take up a lot of time at all. Let's open this in a new tab. Oh, good gracious. Yeah, the wheels are not very detailed, but we didn't put any huge prompt in there. Wow. This was a small 512 by 768 image, but you see when it upscales, it does keep things nice and sharp. Obviously, this is all a bit bendy and wavy, but with a bit of work on the prompts and negative prompts, we can do well with this. Okay, so let's say we want to put in a new checkpoint that we don't already have. The way we do that is we can go to Hugging Face or Civit AI. I would recommend Civit AI. It's just a bit of a simpler process. So I'm going to pick a checkpoint, and then I'll be back and we'll get that done. All right, so if we go to civitai.com, I've chosen this one, Copax Realistic. I didn't even have to search for it. It was on the main page. So civitai.com. You don't need an account. I don't have one yet. So yeah, Copax Realistic. And here you can see the download link. Now what you don't want to do is take the URL from here and copy that into Invoke in order to download. That's not how you do it. So we can see some nice images here. So I'm going to give this one a test. So we're going to right click on the download link and it says copy link. So we're going to choose copy link. And then we'll go back here and see if we can make this work. This has been my first time doing this. So we're going to click in the mod manager, go to port. Will it accept a URL here? Yeah, model URL. So let's paste that in. In the advanced, by the way, this is a way to do it manually, or more manually, I would say. Yeah. So we're just going to add the URL here in simple mode. And just click add model. Now I'm going to have to wait while it downloads that 2.24 gig. So while it does that, I'll pause and I'll be back when it's done. Okay, it stopped doing that and now it's gone back to add model. So if we go into the model manager, Let's see if Copax Realistic is around. I hope it is. Let's type it in. It'll be easier. Ooh. Do I? Oh, I wonder if I need to restart or refresh. Let's go here. And there. I might need to restart. Unless it didn't download it. I actually don't have the scripted prompts in front of me, so I don't know what it's doing. Let's have a look. Well, don't see any errors. Scanned 5 files, imported 0 models. I'm going to restart and see what we get. Restart the InvokeAI.batch file, the bat file, not the computer. All right then. That one didn't work. I've gone back onto Cibit AI and looked for that same model again, Copax Realistic, and it doesn't come up in the search. So I don't know whether Copax was just posted today, so I don't know whether they pulled it because it wasn't working or something. So I'm going to try again with a different one. This one's been on the site for a while now, since July 3rd. So this one should work. It's called Beautiful Art, and it's not one I would normally download. I mean, how skinny is Cyberman? Spider-Man. Looks very skinny there. Cyberman, Doctor Who. Yeah, not my kind of thing, this, but I just want to try it. So there's version 3, version 2, version 1. We're going to stick with version 3. So right-click, copy the link, go into Invoke AI, into the Model Manager, click there, put the link in, and click Add Model. Let's see if we get more success with Beautiful Art. Maybe my fault for picking one that had just been added onto the Cibit AI website. I don't know. Let's find out. Once this is done, we'll see if it's worked. Okay, so let's take a look at importing, not importing, but installing new models. Now, I have tried to use the import to import from a URL on Cibit AI by going into, let's say, Epic Realism, waiting 10 years, and then right-clicking, go to copy link, and then pasting the link into there. Twice I've tried it with 2 different models, and once it's, you know, let me wait for a while, I presume while it's downloading it, at the end, at the bottom, it says undefined. So I don't know what's going on. I think it doesn't like certain models, and I've just had bad luck in those 2, but I actually don't know. So I think the easier way to try it out would be to just go to Cibit AI, download the checkpoints you want. For me, I just filtered checkpoints here, so I didn't see anything else. I'm quite happy with just checkpoints. So click down, create a folder somewhere where you've got plenty of space, call it checkpoints or models or whatever you like, and then just download some checkpoints. Epic Realism I would recommend. Let me see if we can go through some. Dream Shaper, Cyber Realistic is another one. Absolute Reality is a good one. I can't believe it's not photography. There's one called Photon, if you can find it here. Juggernaut I have, which is here. Just come here and look at checkpoints and just pick the ones with the styles you like. Download them all into that folder. And then once you've got a few, come to here and then just choose the folder. So I might call it models. I might have installed them all into k/InvokeAI/models, right? I might have just put them all in there. I haven't, but wherever your location is, and just click add and it will scan the folder and load them all in. We've also got scan for models here, which you can do the same thing with, just provide the folder and have it scan for them. But I always did it this way, adding a model as opposed to scanning. I just added. And then once you do that, you can come back to text to image, then you can hit refresh, and which will resync your models up. I don't know why everything is taking so long all of a sudden. This is normally about half a second to do this, so I'm not really sure what's going on unless... I don't know. Yep, I don't know why it took so long, but anyway. And then you can just pick out off the list of the ones you downloaded and start experimenting. You've got your positive prompt up here, what you do want to see, and then you've got your negative prompt, which is what you don't want to see. So what would we put for a car that we don't want to see? Well, we don't want to see bad perspective. We don't want to see low quality or bad quality. And let's just do another one. Now, I'm not sure about this upscaling thing. If I want to decide how much to upscale, I'm sure there's other ways to do it in here. Okay, so here we go. All right, so there we go. That looks a little bit better. We've got this being a lot flatter across the top now. But here, yeah, I'd like to... okay, we've got 2 times. 4 times. Best for photos. Yeah, but how do I tell it how much to scale by? Like if... In automatic 1111, you can choose how much the scale is, 1.5 or 2. Anyway, so if we come down to image, I haven't really messed with this yet. You can drag an image in. Yeah, you can. And then you can select, you can change your prompt and it'll work from this image to produce this one. So I don't know if this is going to work. I mean, we're getting beyond now the video's goal, which was to show you how to install this. So I've just said photo of a blue car. Do we have a denoise here? Oh, there it is. I don't think this is going to change it to blue, though. No, it's added blueness. But let's put photo of a red car. And then just put dog on road. Obviously, with the denoise, what you get here is the higher it is, the more artistic license you're giving the AI when it resamples this image over to here. And the less denoise is, the less changes it's going to make. So let's just leave it at 0.7. It's a bit high for me. I think I would rather have it 0.4 and hopefully have it still add the dog and keep the car the same as what it is right now. That's what I would be hoping for. You see how the image has changed? Now it's raining. The background has changed. So if you bring the denoise down, maybe something like 0.3, then the resultant image will change less from this one. But hopefully, will it still include the dog? It doesn't look like it is. Okay, so let's maybe up this to 0.4, Invoke. And these images are all getting saved as well. So we need to keep an eye on this. It looks like we still don't have a dog. Okay. maybe we can just, what we can do maybe is leave the denoise strength down and instead just add some importance onto this, or emphasis, or shall we call it weight? Add weight to dog on road. Not quite enough then. Okay, let's go to 0.5. I thought maybe we could get away by adding extra weight to that prompt, keeping the denoise down. Right, let's crank it back up 0.7. I didn't really want to go that high, but it seems if you want a variation of the original image, this is what you have to do. We can't even get a dog now. Okay, you have to experiment, I suppose. I wonder whether the brackets work here the same as they do in Automatic 1111, because in Automatic 1111 I would select the text and then use Control Up arrow to increase importance on it, but it's not doing that here. I wonder if there's another way to do it. I really don't know. Yeah, I actually don't know. Maybe. I don't know if it does it like this as well. Oh, that's for an embedding. Okay, well, we don't need to do an embedding right now. We can put that in the negative. We've already got an easy negative, so we can do that. What if I just say dog on road and bring this down to 0.4? Will it keep the car there? These cars are looking very Eastern European. No, I don't know. Okay. Not working like I'm expecting it to do. So next one is Unified Canvas. I'm not going to go into that here because I'm familiar with this I'm familiar with the canvases in Automatic 1111, but not so here, so it wouldn't be fair for me to do this right now. Then we have the nodes editor for Stable Diffusion, XL. I'll set one of those up in another video, and of course the model manager. So for now, you have your text to image, and you can just go grab a load of models and stuff from cibitai.com, and then you load one in and click Invoke. And now we're not even in image to image anymore, so this image should be just of a dog on a road. And as for managing your images, I don't know whether you can delete from here by maybe shift clicking. Wow, my English escaped me. It does just display the images here. Can you right click? So you can delete an image, but how can I delete? I was wondering how to delete more than one image. Obviously, we're waiting now for Cyber Realistic to load. I'll be back when all this is done. Okay, we have our little doggy in the road. Hope he doesn't get run over. Anyway, there you go. That is how to download, install, and run InvokeAI. Any questions? Just leave it in the comments and I will try and answer you. And more than anything, enjoy, explore, have fun, do some googly research on how to use this, and yeah, enjoy it. Take care. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. you.